this was a very, very popular model, and this was the third model in this video series, video lecture. This is a very important model till date, and we all have been using invariably various components, and more or less our today's communication, modern communication, especially business communication, follows this particular model. And now let us go to the last model, that is called Shannon and Weaver's model. In 1948, Warren Weaver and Claude Elwood Shannon collaborated on the writing of the paper, which is called A Mathematical Theory of Communication. It was written for the Bell System Technical Journal. This was the beginning when the development of the digital world has started affecting the process of communication. So the development of the Shannon and Weaver model of communication, while Weaver was a member of the scientific community, Shannon was a prominent figure in America in mathematics. So in later years, the mathematical concept was popularized to the point where it came to be known as the mother of all models, or which is also called the Shannon-Weaver model of communication. This linear model is more technologically advanced than the others that are similar in nature. So let us just try and understand what are the basic elements aligned, how are the basic elements of the communication process are affecting or maybe positioned in the Shannon-Weaver model. Sender, that is the information source. The sender is the person who develops the message, chooses the channel, and transmits the message. Senders are also responsible for ensuring that the message is delivered. Now, encoding, that is the transmitter, is a very important aspect of this model, of this particular theory. An encoder is a sender who uses a device to turn message into a signal or a binary data. So this is a type of a sender who is also known as the transmitter. It is also possible that this is a reference to the tool itself. Transmission of a message takes place through a medium known as a channel. So the term decoder can also refer to with reference to the encoder. Decoder is either a device that converts signals or a binary data into messages, or a receiver that interprets signal into messages. So both of these terms are used interchangeably here in this model. The person or a location at whom the communication is expected to be received is referred to as the recipient, often called as the destination also. So the receiver is the one who provides the feedback that is particularly to the message. Noise, we have also seen this element in the previous models, is the interference that can be caused by the surrounding environment, other people, or anything else that gets into the way of the message reaching the recipient in the way that it was intended. So the Shannon-Weaver model of communication also is commonly referred to as the mathematical model of communication. As we have already seen, this developed by two technical people, one mathematician and one technologist, in connection to the electronic media. So this model is also commonly referred to as with their own names, that is Shannon-Weaver model. It incorporates transmitter that converts this message into a signal that are suitable for the transmission, as well as a channel that transfers the signals from the transmitter to the receiver so that the information can be received. So the desired message is selected by an information source from amongst a variety of possible messages, which may include written or spoken words, graphics, music, and many other forms with the help of digital experiences. A destination, usually the word we use sender is now a destination, which is the person who will receive the message. So a receiver, which can be thought of as a form of inverse transmitter that translates the signal that have been transferred back into the message. The approach distinguishes between three distinct tiers of information and communication problems. Problems of a technical nature, namely those relating to the accuracy of information, transmission from sender to receiver via signals, problems connected to the efficacy or efficiency of which the meanings are communicated to the recipient and the subsequent behavior. There is also sought on this side and are also categorized under the heading influential. And finally, problems of semantic nature. That means problem pertaining to the languages. Problem of semantic nature is also handled that the receiver may not perceive the meaning in the same way that the sender intended it to be interpreted. While the signals are being conveyed, there is a possibility that some undesired interferences, such as the sound in the case of radio or a telephone conversation, will be added. This model's objective was to provide clarity regarding how to deal with noise and how much amount of redundancy that is required for the receiver to successfully receive the signal and as a result the relevant messages. Some concerns pertaining to the technical, semantic and efficiency levels of the communication are where Shannon and Weaver's paradigm places its primary emphasis. This model teaches us to take into account the ability of both the sender and the receiver to decode signals in order to decrease ambiguity, minimize the negative effects that the noise or the disturbance can have on the transmission. In spite of the fact that the model makes an effort to explain the communication process in greater depth, it is a linear one-way communication model that lays very little or no emphasis on feedback. Though the lens of this paradigm, communication is portrayed as a linear and one-way process, according to the founders, there are two functions at the end. This is doing the broadcasting, and there are also the two functions that at the end doing the receiving. They make a distinction between the source and the transmitter as well as between the receiver and the destination. So this is about the Shannon and Weaver model. So students, I hope you are ready to take some more interesting questions and quizzes based on these four models. So let us just check your knowledge, check your understanding. You may go back to the previous videos to get a clarification. And thank you so much. See you all in the next module. Thank you.